Hello and welcome everybody to today's video. I, much like anybody else, love stocks. Some of the most tactical stocks are also some of the most useful. The adjustable stock, for example, is very tactical, but allows it to be adjusted to just about any body type. But of course, there are some other tactical stocks, such as one that I honestly had hoped would be a lot more stable, and that is the side folder. Now, the side folder allows your blaster to, of course, be collapsed down to a very small package, unlike with the adjustable stock, getting about this short, whereas with the side folder, you can make it really short. However, today, I'm going to be combining the two, and that's why we got the bandsaw out here today. Alright, so first off here, we're going to start with the Spectre stock, which we're going to cut right along here, where the stock itself connects to the folding bit, and we're going to replace that with some plexiglass. And now we have two very distinct pieces. The portion that connects to the stock attachment point with the folding arm portion, and we have the actual stock. We're going to save the stock for later, just in case we ever need to use it. Next up, we have the collapsing stock, and we're going to cut it right along where it connects up to the stock attachment point.
Let's go!
Now we have two very distinct pieces yet again, the stock attachment point itself and the stock itself, which now is basically just a buffer tube, and in its smallest form, of course, it still has enough material for me to work with. Of course, remember to always deburr your the pieces that you have left over after you have cut them with any sort of instrument, just to make sure that there are no sharp ledges or whatnot that will cut you at any point. Okay, so here we are after cutting everything. So as you can see here, we have the stock attachment point itself with the folding arm portion, and we have the stock itself with the buffer tube, and this is going to slot onto the stock attachment point itself, something like this. However, we're going to attach a plate of plexiglass that goes from this portion right here all the way to the other end, so that way we can attach the stock onto that plate and attach the plate onto this folding arm, so that way the stock can then fold around the side of the blaster like this. As to what color of plexiglass I'm going to be using, that's really just whichever one of the two colors that I have paints up better. Yeah, you all know the old saying, measure twice, cut once. Yeah, because I don't have anything to measure with, I'm just going to be using this as a base, so measure once, cut several times. Alright, so we got our plate of plexiglass here that has been drawn on, and now we're going to cut it. I'm going to skip over this entirely because I don't want to waste a bunch of space on this little segment here. Alright, so we're back inside here. Here is the stock attachment point portion of it with the folding arm. Going to be painting this up a very special color. I will show you real quick. This blue right here that you see on this wooden stock. I'm going to be painting this up in that color. It's a very nice, bright, and vibrant blue. I'm also going to be painting the sheet of plexiglass that same color. Fortunately, I only had to cut no more than 3 times while I was, doing this, because it was just a wee bit too big each time, aside from after the third. And of course, we have the stock with its buffer tube, which is going to fit onto that plexiglass plate, and that plate is going to fit onto the stock attachment point here, so that way we get the foldability as well as the adjustability. And all of that is going to be going onto this blaster here, which I did for a friend of mine. As you can very clearly see, it is still top prime, but it is also pump action. Anyways, hope to see you guys in a little bit, once I have gotten the epoxy that I'm going to need for this. Welcome back. A couple days later, after I finally got the epoxy, I was, being dumb, and I didn't get any footage of this, but here is the now mostly completed stock. As you can very clearly see, it now folds, in addition to being collapsible. However, I need to drill out the hole in the center so that the plunger rod can slip on through, and the blaster can function. But at the moment, you can very clearly see it's folded up on the side. I can then unfold it and then extend it. It's not quite as solid as I would have liked it, however, it is good enough. I basically made this out of just whatever I had lying around. But now we move on to the fun part. Alright, so now begins one of the parts that I said, of course, back inside, was one of arguably the best parts about modifying anything, and that is the painting process. Of course, we are going to be painting up this stock attachment point, as well as this plexiglass, a very special color. And I'm going to show you guys, a time-lapse of me doing that. Unfortunately, at the moment, because I have my glasses on, this mask is getting fogged up really quickly. So I might need to take these off in order to do my job correctly. Alright, so let me get my Dremel real quick, and then we will knock this out real fast.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. As you might be able to tell by the audio, for once I'm not wearing a mask. However, you're not going to be able to see my face. But here we finally have the finished stock. I finally got around to repairing it. It works. It fits fine. And I can fire off shots very quickly. But there are a few other things that I'm going to do to this blaster, but that is not within the scope of this video. This video was only on making this stock. A side-folding, adjustable stock. Now, just so you know, when it came to actually making the stock work, there was actually quite a bit of dremeling work that I needed to do back here in order to make sure that the plunger rod came out the back. However, because of the fact that that plunger rod is there, you cannot close the stock, and you cannot open the stock while it's primed. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. This project was a very big headache for me personally. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today in this video. Join me next time when I'll be going over something that is fortunately much less of a headache. That's all I have for you today. Enjoy me being angry.